because I know at the end of the day, you like me more than you like them.
There's certainty. Yeah.
There's
assurance.
there's part of that, like at the end of the day, whoever he or she talks to, they're gonna like me more. Like I feel more valuable to him than other people would be to him.
Welcome to the Echo of Vlad podcast, a few and a half deep conversations about becoming the best man possible. Now, this is what I like to call the marriage series. This is the second episode of the marriage series because I'll talk to the boys about relationship and then I'll talk to the girls about relationship. But I was like, okay, let me talk to the people who put a ring on it. Let me talk to the people who said I do. And with that, we had the first episode, which was awesome, which was amazing. But now we have an episode with people who I met them recently, but it kind of feels like I've known them for a long time. It's like you meet people and it's like, okay, where were you this whole time? Have we known each other? We just click like that. And these are my two friends. I've met them for a little bit, but we've had awesome conversations and I cannot wait for this conversation. But without further ado, we have Nany and Brian. How are you guys doing?
Good. I honestly don't ever remember talking to you before this. So just kidding. No, I'm messing around.
That was the sweetest thing you could have said. That was so nice. Thank you for that.
Thank you. It's weird because like you always have people like that. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, my homie Sam was behind the camera. I was like, I met him last year, but I was like, hold on, have we been boys for a long time and we just both forgot? That's pretty much how it's been.
I almost feel like I met you because of Sam, but I think we've all known each other about the same amount of time.
Really?
Because you said it was a year ago that you guys met?
We've known Sam longer.
Yes, no? I know, but I mean, we met Vlad, I feel, because of Sam.
Yeah.
Even though we've met around the same time. The three of us with Vlad.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. No, we've hit it off, man.
Yeah, man. We've had awesome conversations that cannot be said online.
Yeah. What? No?
That makes it sound suspicious.
What he means is like you typically don't, talk about religion to everybody, all the time.
True,
right?
But also the last...
Because that's what we talk about, right?
Yes, only
Jesus.
Only. But yes, it's been fun having conversations. I'm one of the people who like to have conversation with almost everybody. It's like I've never found a person I couldn't have a conversation with. Have you guys kind of had that experience before?
I found people that I didn't want to have conversations with.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been adopted by extroverts and they're the ones that start the conversations and then I can continue and then I am an open book and oversharer. But from my own will and volition, no, not really, no. I think I'm the person that people have a hard time having a conversation with. Sorry.
I don't feel that way at all. I feel like people actually have a good time talking to you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Because, I don't know. You don't seem introverted like when people first meet you.
You actually don't. I thought you were very extroverted. And then the second conversation was like, oh, I was wrong.
Wait, why did you?
Probably because you told him you were introverted.
What? No. Why the second conversation?
I thought you were extroverted.
Yeah, but because of the second conversation, what happened in that second conversation?
It's like I thought you were more like excited for a conversation. That was it. And
so I wasn't excited when you approached me for conversation?
The second time.
The second time?
The second time I was approached by everybody. So I thought everybody was extroverts.
Okay.
The first time I was...
Oh, I see.
The second time I was like,
I'm like, wait.
Individual.
Yeah. I see.
Should we take those 30 seconds now or...
I know.
Oh, man.
But you said something interesting, like adopted by extroverts.
Uh-huh.
I'm usually the extrovert who likes to adopt introverts. So
that makes sense.
Really?
That makes sense why we're here also.
Oh, yeah, true.
We don't really do this kind of thing.
So you're like the godfather of like introverts.
Exactly.
That's cool.
I have a whole pool and list of introverts that I constantly interact with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But actually, we're supposed to be talking about marriage, but this went off the rails, of course. But I want to ask about marriage, not specifically about your marriage, of course, but I would like to have the conversation about like relationships in general. And I always hear this, right? And I'll run this by you guys because I disagree with it a little bit, but I want to hear your takes, right? I've heard people, I'm not going to name any names, who have said like there's no difference between a boyfriend and girlfriend or actual friend. What would you guys think about that?
In what terms?
Like, I remember having a heated discussion, an argument, slight little argument, where people on the other side said that it's not really a difference as far as like, okay, in the word boyfriend, you have the word friend. In the word girlfriend, you have the word friend.
Okay.
What, as married people, would you say that there is a difference between, okay, like simple relationships and friendships?
Simple relationships and friendships?
Yeah, like boyfriend, girlfriend versus friendships.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are... Okay. I would say, yeah, there is. I mean, probably not like, I don't know, in terms of the law, right?
I mean, yeah, of course, the law.
Right? There's probably not much difference there. But I would say that there is definitely a difference in boyfriend, girlfriend versus just friends because relationally, you're entering into a relational contract with that person and that you are devoted and dedicated to them in a way that you're not to others. So in that sense, there is to use the biblical term, covenant, right, with that person, even if it's not as deep as or as close in proximity or intimate as a marriage, you are still, making some kind of promise there that you are accountable to.
True. There's like a bit of you said contract, but like an agreement there to not be like on the same level as friends. Does that kind of make sense? Little bit yes, a little bit no.
Yeah, I think that the expectations probably are a little higher. If we are friends for a long time, and all of a sudden I start dating Nany, and I let you know, hey bro, like sorry I can't hang out today. I can't go, watch the football game or whatever. I'm going to a date night with Nany. It wouldn't necessarily be a reason for you to be upset. You could get upset if you're really zealous about, our, friendship. But at the same time, it would be widely understood, like, that's okay. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And because you understand, even though we're friends and we were friends for a long time, and I still owe you some kind of loyalty as that friendship, right? But you understand that this perhaps is a little bit different than our friendship.
Right.
And it might require more care and more time.
Makes sense. Nany, what about you? What do you think?
No, I think he said it beautifully. My first thought, honestly, I watch a lot of reality TV, and I thought about Love Island and like, oh, are we exclusive? Are we closed off? And like, why is there so much weight put on that if friendship and relationships are the same, right?
Right.
And I'm talking about like this wild show, they're not really serious, honestly. Let's be real. But real even then, there's this value of like, hey, I want to be the only person like you talk to or that you're with. And that's different than a friendship. Has a friendship ever required that from you? Then those are boundaries that should be evaluated.
Right.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
She brings up a good point in the sense that I don't have to worry about you talking with somebody else because I know at the end of the day, you like me more than you like them.
There's certainty. Yeah. There's assurance.
There's part of that, like at the end of the day, whoever he or she talks to, they're going to like me more. Like I feel more valuable to him than other people would be to him.
You said a word there that I kind of want to ask more about. You said assurance, like giving the other person assurance that their spot is not really like going to be taken from them. Is that a right way to say that?
I don't know.
Like assurance, like, okay, you're not going to be like easily looked over or like you have priority in a sense. there's a difference in priority when it comes to friendship and then comes to dating.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. And there's a conversation. It's not just like, oh, for example, like as a grown person, do you go to another person and be like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Do you do that often?
I've never done. I don't think I've done that once.
So then why do you go to another person that you're romantically interested with and are like, hey, do you want to be my partner? Do you want to be my boyfriend or girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
There's like that. There's a big difference there, right?
Right.
So if we don't ask of that in friendship, there has to be some certain conversations if you want to move. Let's assume there's a friendship towards a romantic relationship. Conversations with like, oh, how do we move to the next level, right? If that's what you're getting at. So I think conversations is what makes the difference in transparency and being real about it. Unless you're looking at friendship as a gateway of like, oh, maybe something in the future is possible, or solely friendship. You know what I'm saying? Even with Sam, did you go to Sam and, hey, Sam, you want to be my friend?
My voice wasn't that high.
Oh, it's not? Hey, Sam, you want to be my friend? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because one thing is like there's more importance, so you actually ask of it. You actually make a request.
I wouldn't say there's more importance because I think with Brian's example, it was a really good shifting of priorities. It doesn't really mean that that my friendship is less than my romantic relationship, which happens a lot. Like a lot of friendships are abandoned when someone goes into a relationship, and then let's say that relationship doesn't work out, and then who do they have? Who's their community once that breakup happens because they abandon that other side of themselves? Mm-hmm. Because humans are not one dimensional, and community isn't just like me and my spouse or me and my partner, right? Mm-hmm. So I think both are valuable.
Yeah.
I think it's just a shift of priorities.
Yeah, she's saying something that's very important and perhaps is going unnoticed, and it's the fact of, and this is like a word that's always thrown out there, specifically in churches, right? Like, oh, community. We have to have a community.
Community, yeah.
Right. We got to have synonyms, right? And the truth is that what happens most often when you enter into a romantic relationship with somebody is that person becomes like, and you see it with your friends, or maybe it's happened to you, where that person becomes like the center of your world for a moment because everything there is new and everything like is sparking like happiness and joy and drama and all these things. And sometimes you see it specifically in like your first crush, your first relationship, like in high school or something like that. And you end up asking, hey, like, where's Vlad? Oh, you know where Vlad is. He's always over there with it, and I think like from that early stage of life where you find that person that you really want to get to know, that you really like, bent over heels for, right? We miss out on the aspect of the communal setting. We go off by ourselves with that person, mm-hmm. right? And truly, like, you really get to know the person more and more as they are relating with your group of friends, as you're relating with their group of friends, as you hang out in community, and it's a type of proximity that happens in the most healthy of ways because you're not the only one that wants this to succeed now. Mm-hmm. Now everybody wants your relationship to succeed because they're not just friends with you.
They're friends with her as well.
They're friends with her, or whatever. And so, I think in that sense, like we really miss out a lot earlier on in dating and in building these relationships by moving away from the crowd and just going just to be with that person alone most of the time. Mm-hmm. Where really, if most of the time is spent with your friendship circle, however big or small that may be, man, that's going to be a lot healthier for your relationship, I think.
I also want to add the other side, since this is like a boys podcast or whatever. What is it? You and your boys conversation. I think it also should be evaluated. And I know this is not what we're talking about. You reminded me of that. Yes, it's important for you to have that community, but it's I see it so often that that friendship group, particularly, that friendship group that goes on trips every year, that goes on having boys' night, going to watch something at someone's house and whatever. When one of them is in a relationship, it's difficult to compromise. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, my boys go first. My friendships go first. So there has to be a healthy balance of like, okay, there's a difference between my friends and my romantic relationship, right? But again, I think overall community, and it's not just like, hey, meeting your friends and their friends. It's just like going to let's say a church or some other community event where you're surrounded by strangers and seeing how that
running club, like whatever.
Running club or whatever, to be exposed to other people and grow from that and get to know each other in those settings, because that's real life. Real life is not going to be you two in some remote corner and the rest of the world keeps going on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring like the other aspect of like.
And my takeaway from that comment is that I still give her sparks.
Huh?
Oh.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. they got it.
Did
it's
they?
recorded.
Okay.
They can go back. They can go back
Yeah,
right on your
okay.
podcast and see,
First
okay,
5
how did
seconds.
she start that comment? And then they'll see.
I don't know.
I get that though, because it's like, it's almost like a delicate balance of like balancing like the things that make you, which includes your friends, but also the things that makes you a better partner, which is time with your partner.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I remember in that conversation, it was kind of like, okay, how do you draw like one, boundaries, of course, but also how do you not overcomplicate it a little bit? Because some people kind of in the boundaries conversation, some people kind of make their relationships like mini marriages. Like they feel like automatically committed to them. But then some people's like try to swing the pendulum towards like, okay, the relationship could fail, or they expect the relationship to fail, but they expect their friendships to always last forever. Do you think it's like, which one, do you think it's healthy to have that mindset of like, okay, relationships can come and go, but your friends are going to be there forever? You don't think so?
I mean,
No.
do you favor extremes?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Then those are two extremes.
Very opposing views, for sure. I think it's very nuanced or complicated because sometimes you're right, we don't place certain value on friendships, but they're like any other human relationship, in the sense of like there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be seasons where the friendship is really solid, and there's going to be seasons you haven't spoken in like a year, and then suddenly text or call or whatnot. Does that mean the friendship is non-existent? Existent for you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that it's non-existent.
Okay.
I do.
Or it's not healthy? Is that not a healthy friendship?
It depends. I mean, it's funny we say this because I kind of define friendships in like 3 different ways.
Okay.
Like, I have one, like the coworker type of friends. Like when we were around each other, we're the best of friends. But like now that we're not there, it's not really like, it's like work friends, or that's why I call it coworkers. Like work friends, we were there in school or whatsoever. We were friends, but it was because of that place. I would say I would also have like cousin type of friends, whereas like we have like a close bond before, but because of it being like a distance or whatsoever, we're not as close. And then I have like almost like sibling type of friends. Like I could see them whenever. I could see them for like 3 weeks straight, and then not see them for like 3 months, and then it's still just as close. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. I mean, if that works for you to categorize them in that way and to understand each other better, because I think ultimately that's what friendship is, in a way, to understand each other better and to there's a certain love and care for each other. And when you're clear about like how close or what the expectations are of this person, it's
Right.
if your sibling friend expects the same thing as your coworker friend,
Yeah, it's
or
not
your
the same.
coworker, or the other way around. You get
It's
what I'm
not the same expectations for the
Right.
friendships. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. But like when you have a relationship partner, it's like they go above everybody in priority, as you're saying.
Well, yeah. To an extent, yeah, to an extent.
Dude, I think it depends on the situation, the circumstance, like what's happening. Like, if your friend is having, a going away party because they're moving across the country to a new job,
Right.
and at the same time, your partner is going to the theater with her family and invites you along, which one of those two is more important? Well, in that sense, being there for your friend and the going away party is more important. Doesn't mean that one person is more important than the other, but I think you really have to be able to analyze the circumstance and be like, okay, yeah, like this is like, I don't know if they're ever gonna kind of come back, or we're gonna meet up somewhere, or where life is gonna take us. So in that sense, like, yeah, you pick your friend over, in your case, your girlfriend.
True, because of the significance and kind of nuance of the situation.
Right. But there has to be a conversation.
Yeah.
There has to be an understanding as well.
Of like how much that friend means or whatsoever.
Like the circumstance. In this case, my friend and this and this and that, you have that conversation with each other. And I think that's also a marker of like, how well you communicate, how your priorities align, how you value friendships as well, like, because your partner is also going to have certain friendships that circles that you're probably not a part of, and they might have a situation along the same lines. So it's like mutual understanding and mutual compromise. But yeah, it's not like, oh, hey, babe, I'm just going to go and to my friend's house because they're leaving, and not communicate as like, hey, I would really want to go with your family and understand, but in this case, this and this and that is happening. How do you feel about that? How can we approach this in the future? In this scenario, I'm not asking you for permission. I'm telling you, hey, this is what I would want to do. What do you think? How can we plan for another night out with your parents or your family? You get what I'm saying? It's not like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Bye.
Yeah, it's not like shutting the conversation down. It's like creating solutions that kind of meet both expectations.
Exactly.
Clear communication. That's what we're getting at.
Yeah. Because sorry, what you guys I was thinking about, like, okay, just to change up the story, right? The scenario is like, oh, but we're gonna go watch the movie on the 10th anniversary of a sibling of mine that died, and this is their favorite movie, and they're showing it here, right? No, but I'm saying, like, okay, now the importance, like, of each one, like, kind of changes, right? And again, it goes to not only how well you communicate with your partner, but how well your partner communicates with the other people that it affects. So sometimes it would behoove you to call up her dad or her mom and be like, hey, wow, thank you for the invitation. I know that it's this, and it's such a meaningful moment. I'm also at a crossroads because of this, and being able to let your heart be known by other people aside from just your partner. Also aids into them being able to see you in a different light, because at the end of the day, whoever your partner is with most of the time is going to influence the way that you are seen.
That's right.
So that's why I brought up the really bad, like, horrible example there, but it got kind of dark. But don't worry, it's not a true story.
But points were made. Points were made.
Nobody died. I like that conversation. I like this conversation about, like, okay, boundaries, clear communication when it comes to, like, your friendships, but also your relationships in general. But I do want to take a quick break, and then we want to get to the other side of this conversation. But just a quick break just to let you guys know something, but then we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the conversation. Now, we talked about friends, but I also want to move from, like, not just friends to relationship, or relationship to marriage a little bit. Because, like, when you're in a relationship, yeah, they're a priority, but, like, when you're married to them, that's, like, actual priority. Like, it's a stamp on it. Wouldn't you say?
I would say married. Yeah. I don't know if, like, married to somebody, like, that sounds kind of like in prison, like, like, married is good, right? Because you're gonna say I'm
I
married.
think you're
with,
overthinking
right?
it.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. Sorry, I got caught up in your question.
Verbiage.
Your verbiage.
Because we talked about priority as like, okay, they take more of a priority than your friends, and in a respectful way. But then it's like, okay, like once you're actually married, it's like that's more of a like, I guess a sign to everybody that like, of course, like this person definitely comes first, or whatsoever. Or there's not a you're not planning to end it at all.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I hope that's what that means. Yeah. Is that what it means to you? Because
I mean, yeah.
okay, just check in. No. Yeah.
No. You should know by now, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, I know. I'm just affirming. Just looking for some affirmation.
Good job.
Assurance.
Yes.
Good job.
Assurance. But with marriage, of course, it comes with like, I don't want to say obligations, but I would want to say like you're kind of supposed to be keeping your word in a sense. Your word of like, okay, this person is my spouse, not a regular friend, not a relationship partner, not a boyfriend or girlfriend, but it's like this is a spouse. Is there any weight to the word spouse in terms of trust or in terms of your relationship to other people?
So why wouldn't you want to say obligations?
Because it can vary.
Okay.
It can vary by the person and their marriage or whatsoever. Like some people, it's like their marriage comes definitely before their job and family whatsoever. Some people, it's like I've seen that they've had like, okay, their family or even some of their friends come before like their relationship and then their marriage and stuff. Like, shouldn't there be a difference?
He was looking at you. He wasn't looking at.
No, I just asked him to clarify
Yeah.
what he meant.
Are you gonna go?
No, you go.
No, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever you want. That's my obligation. I'm messing around. Dude, yeah, it's different. I mean, I would say it's different. I wouldn't say that the word spouse has the weight. I would say that wife has the weight. Spouse is just like what we use
Interchangeably.
Yeah. So whoever you're married, just In my case, my wife. I would say like the weight of it is.
Wait, my wife isn't possessive. Like.
Oh, sorry. But
Ah.
I don't know how would I say that?
No, I'm just playing what you had.
Yeah, I know,
earlier.
but no,
Like,
you make a valid
marriage
point.
to or
Yeah,
what? No.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway,
The weight of it.
Yeah, the weight of it. I kind of got lost in your question, to be honest with you.
I would
Can
say,
you ask the question again, like in the sense of you're saying like does your married relationship outweigh what a typical like boyfriend girlfriend partner relationship weighs?
exactly.
Okay. I want to believe that within my belief system, as a Christian, it does weigh more, because in a more like, I guess, point of view from the law, if you're partnered up for 10 years, sometimes that gives you the right to the same rights sometimes as someone who's married.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with certain things.
Can you explain that?
No. So I can't.
Okay.
I'm not well versed. I just know that that's a.
I hope we put a disclaimer under. It's like, this is what this means.
Yeah, maybe,
I believe it's called
maybe.
uncommon law or common law marriages.
I have no idea.
It's kind of like you cannot be married and still file jointly on your tax return.
Oh, I
because
see what you're saying.
You live together,
Right.
you've been together for so
yeah.
long. So something you have children together. That person has most likely. I'm not a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
but we're
Yeah,
most
hear me
likely
out. Since you were talking about like the Bible and Christians, I was like, the Jewish law? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, okay, you're talking
no.
about
Like the actual
law.
law.
Yeah,
That's why I was
actual
like, can you
law.
explain that? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it's like,
Because this isn't a specifically Christian.
No,
podcast.
No.
it's-
It's just because of what you said.
Oh, okay.
because like some people say like like marriage is just a piece of paper, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but they say like
an institution.
An institution. Mm-hmm. But if it's just an institution or just a piece of paper, is there any weight to being married? Is there any weight to like actually saying I do and stuff like that?
Yeah. So sorry again with the Christian perspective,
No,
right? So Scripture says that if you profess your belief in Jesus, you'll be saved.
Right.
Why do people always get baptized?
To show it.
Why? I think in that sense, just to compare, and I'm not saying that they're the same, but I'm saying like it's an illustration in the sense of when it comes to marriage, it's like, okay, you love this person, you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, you want to grow together, you want to have a family together, you want to do all these things, all the things that you would as a married couple. What's stopping you from getting married? Oh, just because no, I don't want, And I think like and the thing when it comes back to baptism, it's a demonstration to your community that, hey, I'm making this decision, and you're a part of this, because you're witnesses of what's happening. And I think in that sense, like marriage, apart from it being an institution, whatever you want to say, it's also the sense of being a witness of what working through difficult times with a person and being completely committed to that person looks like. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, there are moments where it's like, no, you should definitely get a divorce. Like,
yeah, of course, of course.
But aside from those, like, I think there's a real devoutness, if that's a word, to that person that is confirmed and witnessed by a group of people when you sign that document.
And I think you made me think of, you reminded me of something. Yes, it's a public declaration of your love, but also your commitment. And a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but sometimes people can feel like that's a lot of pressure, in the sense of like the people that are witnessing that are also going to be holding you accountable in a sense. So it's like, how do you deal with accountability and the commitment you made, the public commitment you made? And it's not to say like if you go and elope and if you go do a court wedding, it's not going to happen. The people around you, your family, they're going to know I'm married. Yeah. So it's not about focusing on the wedding. It was like, oh, that public display isn't necessarily the wedding day. Wow. It's just like the life now from now on after you've made this decision and this commitment. Mm-hmm. So there's like this tension with the accountability that comes with displaying that. And also, I think it's important to celebrate things in life. So, like I said, like the wedding is not the marriage, but having a moment, having a special date to remember or to just have that special memory and value, I think that's important. Yeah. I think we need more reasons to celebrate than not.
Yeah, it's like, a country like the United States, oh, we're going to be free now. No Declaration of Independence. No one signs it. No, we're just free. It's like,
exactly.
And even today, like with even the most simple of things, it's like, oh, you have to have it in writing. Oh, did you have, that's like the first thing that people will, kind of tell you when you're starting off in your career or whatever, like whatever someone promised you. No. Do you have it in writing?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's really what counts, and that's really what's important. And at the end of the day, and I feel like this is kind of like the fear that comes from marriage is that people change. Mm-hmm. We all change. Mm-hmm. And the person you married is not going to be the same 10 years after you got married. And we don't come to realize that. And that could be a change that's for the better or for the worse. But you have to acknowledge, like, you don't have control over this person. Mm-hmm. But in marriage, and I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but in marriage, I'm going to say it anyway, right? Because of boys talk, right? In marriage, you're entering marriage not because you are going to have some kind of control over what's happening, over the person, over the decisions all the time, but you're entering into a status of humility where you're coming to the person to ask to forgive, to assess, to wonder, to do these things together, and where you are kind of not letting go, but putting to the side a bit your own like independence to be independent together as a unit. And I think that is really difficult when you are expecting to stay in love, right, throughout your entire marriage, because your expectation is that you're going to be the same people. And that's just not, that's not true.
I like that you both said that. One about like changing, like you're going to be changing throughout marriage, but then also like you said, accountability. And when I always think about marriage, I think about like your word, like you're putting your word on something, like yes, on a piece of paper, but you're giving your word to somebody. Right. But then also like your community is holding you accountable to that word. So I would like, I'm curious about the idea of like, okay, keeping your word even though you're changing throughout marriage, or like you won't be the same person after 2 years, 5 years, 10 years or such, but you're still committed to like keeping your word in a sense through like, and is that kind of what marriage is, like keeping your word?
I think so. And what you're saying, I hadn't really thought about it that way, that depends on what, like, if you promise, let's say in your wedding vows, like, oh, I'm going to wash the dishes every day, like that's going to change. Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm going to,
sometimes it never happens.
Yeah. Or I'm going to do this one thing or the other in that headspace that I'm in that moment. And that's obviously going to change. But I think the fundamentals as like respect, accountability, how to handle criticism, or how to handle, was it discussion or headbutting or whatnot. I think those things should be improving rather than
like
deteriorating.
Right.
So they are going to change, but are they changing for the good? Where there are other trivial things that you're like, oh, that changed, or oh yeah, you're right, 2 years in, 5 years in, 10 years in. But it's things that I can cope with, or it's things that I don't value as much as that person that said that vow valued maybe. Like clean dishes in a clean house is like, is that really gonna make or break my marriage? Is that really gonna make or break who I am as a person, who we are as people, if that makes sense, you know? But I think, like I said, the things that do change, because our level of intimacy, of getting to know each other is different, and the way that we handle discussions or handle, what's that called? Conflict. That's the word I was looking for. How we handle conflict has changed, has evolved, you know, for the better. Conflict is still conflict. So as long as those, like, those pivotal things aren't changing for the worse, I think this should be okay. Like change should be, you should be adaptable. That's a big word. That comes to mind when it comes to life in general, and especially in living with a person 24/7 and having made those promises and having said those things. And yes, the accountability is like, hey, you said you would let me watch my football, soccer games, and not bother me and not talk to me. And it's like, well, sometimes life happens and I have to talk to you or whatever. But I did that to myself because I said that in my vows. But it's like, how deep does it really run?
Right.
You know?
I
you know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would ask the question though, is like, can you, I don't want to say control, but can you influence? I'll say the word control. Like your personal change, can you control that or like influence that, like directly influence that? Because at least for me, like I remember I worked at a job for a year, right? And then I changed into like another job for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm not the same person I was a year and a half ago.
Of course.
I'm not the same person I was before the second job or before the third job and whatsoever. It's like, can I control how much I change throughout a marriage? You can't.
I don't think you can have full control of that. I think you can. What were you gonna say? You looked at me.
No. Go.
No, say it.
No, I was literally gonna go on my own tangent.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think we can control anything. Honestly, that's just my perspective. I do think we can. That doesn't mean that we stay passive and accept things as they are and be like, oh well,
this is me now,
and be mediocre and be like, well, I am who I am. The rest of the people just don't get it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I think there should be. I think we're called to always be more aware of our surroundings, more aware of ourselves, and with that comes change as well. Like you said, in different circumstances, you test different parts of you and you discover different parts of you, and how you're like, oh, I had that job, I don't want to do that job ever again. But it's because you had the experience of that job, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I think that when you want to control what you want to change, it doesn't happen organically, so there's no transformation necessarily, and there has to be transformation for there to be an actual solid change. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I can adapt and I can try to change this. Or like, I tried. I exercised for a week. There was no change, so I tried. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Whereas they're like, oh no, I'm going to be consistent, and there's people that are going to be holding me accountable. Right. I already know that I don't like that gym, but I'll go to this other gym, or no gyms, or I'm going to run outside. You get what I'm saying? So the circumstances around you shape you and how you change. And I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I sound like I'm rambling around, but I think there are a lot of things that come, that are at play that you can't control. There's certain things you can, certain things you can't. But ultimately, if your goal is control, then it's not going to work out.
What about the word intentional? Can you be intentional about the change that you have through marriage?
100%. I mean, not 100%. Sorry, I said that. I've been watching too much Love Island. But yes, I agree. There needs to be intentionality in order to grow and learn and unlearn. I think it's a key element in this of not being stubborn and stuck in your own ways and not wanting to change, because that's another form of control. I want to stay exactly as I am.
Right. You shouldn't.
You should?
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't try to.
I don't think so. I don't think it's something you reach like, oh, I'm done being and growing and this is who I am. I think it's an ever evolving thing, ever growing thing, ever changing thing until you die, if that makes sense. You were going to say something. You were going to go on a tangent.
I don't remember. I think, what was the question? Yeah, I mean, I think we've spoken about this quite often, and I don't know if you were totally fair to your thoughts in saying like that you have no control over change, because I think we both agree that you do a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Right, and this is what I mean. Like, change is inevitable, and so, and you'll see it throughout your life. You either change or become more set in your ways.
Yeah.
Right. Or you change and you grow out of that like comfort zone, or you venture into a more intentional way of communicating, of loving your partner, of being able to feel loved by your partner, of understanding each other better, of planning better, of being able to be more intimate. All those things, that's all change. But when we're okay with not changing, when we're okay with, oh no, the world just has to accept me as I am. It's like, who are you? Like, why do you think you're that special? And if you do think you're that special and you're going to live life that way, okay, good for you. But I don't subscribe to that. I don't think like that is the best way for me to live, because at the end of the day, like I hope we're living a life that isn't just something that is suitable for me. In this case, it's also suitable for my partner in marriage, or suitable for the community that I belong to and subscribe to. But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is that eventually, like, if you are just going down the same path, you're gonna end up being exactly like that grumpy old person that you dislike, versus being intentional. And being intentional is not just like, oh, I'm going to motivate myself to, like we use the gym analogy, right? I'm going to motivate myself to go to the gym. That motivation is not going to last, especially if you're motivating yourself. They'd only last, again, with community, with people by your side, with joining a club, with not even with paying a fee, because you pay a fee for the gym, and that's not going to motivate you to go.
Nope.
You're just going to see that go, those $12, $25, $50, whatever it is that you pay a month for your gym membership. It's just going to disappear from your bank. It doesn't necessarily motivate you to go. Mm-hmm. What motivate you to go is the relationships that you build. And I think you'll end up with less and less and less relationships the more you're inwardly focused and saying, if you don't accept me as I am, listen, bro, the only person that's going to accept you exactly as you are is Jesus. And after you meet him, transformation starts. So,
That's right.
True.
I mean, even then, you don't stay the same, because we're not meant to, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're staying the same, then you're being countercultural to who you were made to be. You're made to grow, not to stay complacent and still and poor.
True.
So, but address the part of control, like
Where's control in that?
yeah, can you control that?
Because we also said like the word intentional.
What I can control is to decide, like my decision. My decision is like, man, I want to try. I want to be intentional. I want to, and perhaps it's not going to happen overnight. I remember, like, Miami's expensive sometimes. So I remember we weren't going on enough dates. So I was like, oh, I want to try. I bought a book. These Instagram things that, you're scrolling through Instagram and all of a sudden you get like
An ad.
ads.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that looks cool. Bought it. I don't remember where I put the book now, but I remember flipping through it just a couple times and not really actually reading it or being like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like a book on like dates, date ideas, and like you take a picture, you put, very, whatever, mushy. And I haven't touched that book, but recently we've been going out to different things, and not only because of us, but because other people have invited you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I started liking going out, leaving the house with my wife more often than just like, because we're both introverts. So the way that we recharge is inside by ourselves. Like, hey, like, I don't need, all these conversations and stuff. Like, I'm okay. Like, you know what? I'm reading this book, The Person of Christ. I'm really enjoying the book. Super theological. Nothing I could ever actually like hold a conversation with most of the people that I talk with, right? But I really enjoy it, and that recharges me. And every time I get home, I just want to be recharged, right? Versus now, like what they were doing, they're like, oh, that was really nice, and that recharged a part of me that perhaps I didn't totally realize that I needed, right? And so I think in that sense, you can try for a while, and eventually I think that those moments will open themselves up naturally, and your heart will already be drawn to wanting to do them.
True. I like that. Could we say that marriage is the choice to intentionally intentionally place this person in your life? Like intentionally have this person have a place in your life?
I think any relationship is that. Any.
Does it need the stamp on it like marriage does, or just like marriage is like, okay, that thing that you put, like, okay, we put our word to it, we are accountable for it and whatsoever?
You should be accountable in every relationship. I think be held accountable. I mean,
it's just more serious in the sense of the I don't want to say repercussions. That's not what I mean. Consequences.
Consequences, yes.
To that choice.
They're larger, yeah. Especially if there's kids involved. Especially if there's
bank accounts
involved.
Kids, yeah.
I mean, but even because it's something that's more special, there's always going to be consequences. But there's always going to be things that hold you accountable, so you don't, I don't want to say fumble, but you don't like compromise the things that you value. Like if you value time with your wife, you're going to intentionally make time instead of let it be compromised by like, okay, this stuff happened, or this, not enough time, or not enough, you got busy with work and XYZ, because you value that time with your wife or value that time with your spouse, it's like, okay, you're going to intentionally make that change. Like, even if it's difficult, you're going to keep that change there. You're going to keep that space there, no matter the change you have through 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of marriage.
Sometimes...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how is that change sustainable?
Oh, to my point. Sometimes... So there's this thing. So I've been reading some like self-help books on like finances and stuff like that. And basically, the more automated you make your accounts, the easier it is for you, because you're not making those. Not actively making those choices. You just get the byproduct of the preset things that you've already done.
Right.
And I think, like in relationships, if in this case you're with your wife and you want to be intentional about spending time with your wife, well, probably choose that job that will allow you to do that. And that's already automated, for you. Like, for instance, one of the values that we have in this church is family. And so typically on Sundays, unless it's like a family event, we're not going to require you to come in for meetings or to do something for church on Sundays, because we are saying, okay, no, spend that time with your family, right? So, okay, well, I'm going to subscribe to this church because it opens up my Sunday to be able to do that. Right. And if you can make those decisions that already alter your schedule to be able to have that, then it's not so much like, oh, man, I have to have this really difficult conversation with my boss because, man, I need to go because I already promised my wife I was going to do this and that. You probably don't even need to have that conversation anymore because you've already made a choice to go for the job that gives you that freedom to be able to do that. Does that make sense?
It does. Automate our marriages. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, automate your marriage. Yeah.
But I like that we said that. I like that we iron out the details of like, okay, not just how to make the priority, but addressing like the change that you actually go throughout life, throughout marriage, and then how it impacts you, of course. I like this. I like the conversation because you can have it only like, I don't want to say you could only have it one way with your boys and then with your friends, but it's like, it's always helpful to like talk to married people about it. And that was like one of my goals with the podcast, having the conversation with as many people as possible, because it's like, there's a conversation not just like have with the guys or with the girls, but like have a conversation with people who actually do it. It's like school in a sense. It's like, okay, you can have conversation with students and TAs, but what about the professors? What about the people who actually actually profess or actually like be in the profession that they practice? Would you say like there's a lot of conversation between like about marriage from people who are not married?
If there is, I don't listen to them. No, I mean, if you allow me, I can take the conversation in a different direction, in the sense that, and perhaps something we haven't talked about yet. I think, we've been married for 7 years, and yes, we've changed quite a bit, but also we do things as a unit, while at the same time there are things that she wants to do. Wants for herself, that she has the freedom to do, and is in no need to like have to discuss it or have to have like run it by permission or whatever, because we are two independent people creating one entity per se, I guess, in marriage, right? And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, for instance, let's say Nany wants to get her ears pierced, right? And I'm like, oh, no, don't get your ears pierced. Why? She doesn't have to run that. But if she were to come home with her ears pierced, that's fine. It's not for me to approve or disapprove, right? Just to give a random example. Here's a better example. Right now we're in Miami because of me, right? So my job, my calling, however you want to say it, right, is here. And I do believe those two things are different, but I don't want to get into that. we're here, right? We're here in Miami because of me, right? And we made a life here for the last almost 6 years, right? But I am well aware that if the opportunity arises for her to be able to be equally involved in her career, I would be willing, right, to, okay, how can I adapt in order to support her and go somewhere where I can continue in my career of choice,
Right.
but now moving for her sake with her, right? And so I think in that sense, like there are certain things that happen in life that perhaps as a marriage you'd be like, oh no, like, you know, I have the job, I make the money. It's all about what, you know, I decide to do with these things. But to be able to, even if you're the person that has the qualifications in a relationship to say like, oh, okay, like, you know, you're filling out all these, you know, boxes, yeah. You know, kudos. That still doesn't mean you lord over the other person in the decisions that come as a unit. And those decisions are like where you live, you know, how you decide to live, how you're planning for your future, how many kids, if kids, dog, if dog, how many dogs, right?
No, it's serious. It's
for
for
real.
real.
So how many?
Any little
Yeah.
thing that's going to influence,
all those things are crucial, and I think that when it comes to like us specifically, like that's an ongoing conversation with us right now, because she's back in school, right, doing her master's. When she's done with her master's and is qualified to take on a more permanent role, paid role, somewhere else, there has to be some level of sacrifice that I'm willing to do for her to be able to experience the fullness of her calling as I've experienced its fullness here. You know?
It's the idea of like sacrifice, but also prioritizing each other, but then also the trust that you have with each other, with the decisions you make individually, but how they contribute to both of you and the one that you're creating together. I like that. I think we wrapped up exactly what marriage is. We defined it fully. I think with marriage or the topics of marriage, it's the one that I like a lot because everybody has their ideas, and I always like to understand what is everybody. I have my ideas of what marriage is, but like, what is everybody's ideas? What is something that you can learn from people's perspective?
What are your ideas?
I just said the ideas of accountability, of trust, of priority, and sacrifice, as we said, like sacrificing, understand, okay, this is what's being made, or this is what's needed for either your relationship or for your partner to function, or to function better, in a sense. Does that cap it off a little bit better?
Yeah, and to your question that before Brian gave that really beautiful disclaimer, which was really nice, I want to ask you, like, how often is this topic brought up in your circles?
Every Thursday at IHOP.
We won't talk about the last Thursday. I mean, circles, how often is the topic
because
of marriage?
that's what you had asked. It's like, God, is it a topic that you hear often
spoken
about?
I'll be honest, I move a lot in different circles. Like, I've probably had this conversation with most of my circles, like most of my friends or whatsoever. It's like, okay, what's your idea of not just marriage, but like relationships and so on and so forth? Like, how do you contribute to that? And of course, like my sibling type of friends, I've always had these conversations with them. I've always had a conversation like, okay, what does this look like for you and this girl, or you and this guy, and whatsoever? It's like, okay, what does the long term look like? What does the commitment look like? Or even sometimes like, what is our friendship going to look like when you are married and such? I mean, one of my boys, he got married recently. And I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't heard from him, but I know he's enjoying his marriage.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, I understand, like, his priority is his wife. You have another homegirl who's in a relationship. I'm the friendship is not the same, obviously, but the respect for the relationship is there. Like, respect for the boundaries, respect for, like, okay, this is the priority of their marriage. And even as a friend, when I look forward to my own relationship, I'm always like, okay, how do I not perfectly, but how do I properly balance the relationship between me and my girlfriend, me and my spouse, versus my relationship with my homeboys? Pretty much.
Yeah. So, question.
What's up?
Have you like heard this like popular idea that you end up looking for a girl that's kind of like your mom?
I've heard it before.
Do you feel like that's true?
For me, no.
No.
I wouldn't say that there's been many similarities at all in like what I look for and such.
Okay. How long have you had those relationships been? Because maybe you just haven't seen it yet.
I wouldn't say I haven't seen it yet, but I wouldn't say like my relationships or my like pursuits have like mirrored in any sense. Not particularly in a bad way in a sense. I just found no relationship.
And have you met the dad or the father in any of the girls that you've dated?
Crazy enough, yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Did you find any similarities with yourself?
I'm looking through.
Asking the questions. The questions.
Is there any similarities?
Because here's
extrovert.
Here's the kicker. Sometimes when we first meet these individuals who have parented our partner, we're like, oh man, they should do this and that, and this could be better, and man, what kind of father, what kind of husband. But when you actually analyze and you see a little bit of yourself in that person, you're able to see the changes that you should be enacting now. That will produce a better fruit in the future. Not to say like all fathers, right, are less than, and it's like, oh, you don't. That's where you're going to see all the flaws that you need to fix. That's not what I'm saying, right? But it is a good place for you to be like, okay, you're single right now. You're looking to be in a relationship, and really take the time to be a little bit more self-aware in your flaws, because typically, and I've heard this said, I don't know if it's scientifically proven, but I've heard this said that a girl will end up looking subconsciously for a man that is likened to her dad, and likewise a man. And in that sense, a
woman, not a girl, a woman.
Yes, a woman. In that sense, like, it gives you a little bit of a picture of saying, like, oh man, like maybe I'm not seeing that about myself, and it is something that I can change. And already you're working towards having being a healthier person within that marriage.
I like that. I hope you guys are taking notes, because it's pure marriage advice from married people. Of course, they charge by the hour, but of course.
No, not at all.
Not by the hour. Not by the hour, by the day.
Broke. I'm just kidding.
No, every minute counts.
Every minute. I like that. I like the discussion, man. Thank you guys for coming on the podcast and having this discussion. Of course, was this your first podcast experience?
It was not.
It was not.
I mean, as a couple, maybe we've been interviewed
like talking together, like
talking
this?
together, maybe.
Possibly.
Talking about marriage, we're very careful
Yeah.
about what we say.
We have to be careful these days.
Yes, not just because of that, because each person is so unique. Each marriage is so unique.
Yeah.
So it's not a one size fits all, or like, oh, these are the 5 things you do for a successful marriage. It's so very niche to each individual.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be a little. We're just more mindful of the spaces in which we share our experience, and our experience is not meant for everybody.
Right.
And but I am grateful for the space that you have given us, and for forcing these introverts to share a little bit of our lives with you and with people watching. I think it's really nice that you're I feel like you're valuing marriage in the sense of like, hey, I want to learn, or I want to hear what others have to say about that, and not just like hearsay of like, oh, I've read this or I saw this post and whatnot. It's like real life experience.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Can't
helpful.
beat that.
But know that we're not coming from a professional point of view. It's just like our very personal experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I like that. Appreciate you guys. Is there anywhere they could find you? You know, of course, they could shout you out or whatsoever. If you want to,
I'm
of course.
not looking for new friends right now.
You're not looking for new friends.
No, I'm kidding. Honestly, you know, I'm
He is not active in any social media, so I would say
YouTube Shorts. Yeah.
he's
YouTube Shorts.
I watch
old
a lot of
man.
soccer stuff. I watch a lot of car things. I watch. I consume a lot of media. I don't.
He doesn't really share
Yeah.
a lot.
That's understandable.
Yeah, he's
That's
more
understandable.
private, and I share quite a bit more than him, but it's not that.
Yeah,
Not much
I still
more.
listen to the radio in the car. So
He is. I'm telling you, he is this,
Old soul.
An old soul. That's kind. I say boomer, but yeah.
Of course.
I don't wanna
Is
wanna
that
insult
unkind?
anybody.
Is that
No,
unkind?
no. I don't. If the boomer is watching, we love you. Our parents are boomers, so.
Of course.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again for coming on the podcast. I really do appreciate this discussion, of course.
do we end this with prayer or? Okay.
No. We all good here. But of course, you guys know where to find me, Echo of Vlad _. Do not forget that _ you will see me in the next podcast. I appreciate you guys for listening. But as I say with everything, I wish you all the best. And with the rest, God bless.
Yeah.